Hey, Ann, can you hear me? Have you talked to Michael Thomas today? How's he doing?
Actually, Joyce is right here. I haven't talked to him today, but we talked to him yesterday. Yeah, we can.
He's doing fine.
Good.
Okay, great.
Yeah, we can't say much, but
Well, I understand that.
yeah.
Just is he doing good or doing bad?
Yeah, Joyce. Yeah, he's doing fine.
Can you confirm or deny that he has not been arrested by the hospital police? Yes or no?
That's on the boss. She gives these answers.
I think Dr. Lee's going to join us too. I already started recording. It looks like this is going to be it. So at your leisure, go ahead and start, and we'll ask some generic questions because we are recording this. So we'll treat it as a way to get information out to the membership.
All right, sounds good. You guys want me to get started then with our info session on what
Sure.
we have going on? Perfect, sounds good. So, well, in general, I just wanted to ask everyone, what have you guys been doing as with your own leisure interests and stuff from home? Have you had to adapt anything? What are some things that have worked for you guys?
I just decided to lose my mind.
That's a way to go about it.
No,
I'm doing a lot of yard work.
Right?
Yep,
Yeah, I know. I feel like a lot of people's houses and yards look really nice this year. There's a lot of gardening going on too. That's what we've heard in our calls with some other guys too. So is there anything that you guys have noticed that really has not worked for you at all? Is there anything, obviously socialization aspect, but anything that you normally did that you now realize you just really can't do anymore?
No.
Kind of hanging in there?
Yeah, I just haven't been going outside. I've just been staying in, going out in the yard, and sitting on the porch watching the world go by.
Yeah, and I think a big thing really is the socialization that a lot of people are missing right now with everything going on. So, yeah, so here we've actually started up a VVC program with some of our veterans, and we're using it through the VA service to get everyone connected. And what we did is we started out with a little assessment. We use the promise scale. It's 5, 6, 7 brief questions. So what I want you guys all to do is I'm going to go through the questions, and you have to rate it on 1 to 5. 1 is low and 5 is high. So just in your heads, answer the questions as I go through. First one I have is, I am satisfied with my ability to do things for fun at home, like reading, listening to music, etc. The next one, I am satisfied with my ability to do things for my friends. The next one we have is, I am satisfied with my ability to do leisure activities. The next one is, I am satisfied with the amount of time I spend doing leisure activities. Next is, I am satisfied with my current level of activities with my friends. Next one is, I am satisfied with my current level of social activity. And the next one is, I am satisfied with my ability to do things for fun outside my home. So I know that a lot of people, we gave this to all the veterans prior to starting our VVC as well. And a lot of people in general, obviously, will score a little lower in the socialization at this point in with everything going on. So what we did is, part of my big internship project, is I came up with a whole list of activities of what people can do from home, and this is both for all of our outpatient veterans and inpatient. I know we shared it on our Facebook page, a lot of the resources that we've looked for and found. So I'm going to try to share my screen, so bear with me. All right.
Hey, it's half BA folks and half PBA folks. What is this?
It's just another day.
I don't know if I can share my screen. So, well, okay, so it looks like I don't have the ability to share my screen through this.
Hang
unless
on.
whoever started the meeting is able to, yeah, give me permission to access.
Okay, I think I did.
You think you did? All right, let me check it out.
You're hosting.
Uh-oh, watch out, world.
Look at there.
All right, so you guys can see my screen with the virtual program.
Can you make it bigger?
Ooh, that's a very good question. I can probably zoom in a little bit. Does that look
There you
better?
go. Yeah,
All right.
much better.
Yeah, so I'll just briefly run through this with you guys. So when I came up with this, I was thinking of what we could do at home with groups and work with each other. So on Tuesdays, we actually have it where it's more of a, it's a physical education kind of thing. So we will be doing yoga, Tai Chi, other kind of exercises. We set group goals. So overall, it is just to increase our social interaction by participating in a group program one time per week for the 6 weeks. So at least one of the 2 days, and Tuesdays is the exercise, Thursdays is the leisure education. As you can see here, we have the yoga, the Tai Chi, and exercise, along with then with the leisure education portion, we will be incorporating virtual tours, healthy eating, relaxation, and hopefully do a virtual kind of book club where I will share more, like a short article that's pretty interesting for everyone, and we'll talk about it the next time we see each other. Otherwise, there's also trivia offered on those days. So like I said, we did a little pre and post assessment, and that'll be with that promise scale that you guys just heard about. And here it is broken down. And along with that, we'll keep maintaining confidentiality, so using the VA services with all this. And we just finished up our first week of this. So we started off on Tuesday with yoga, and it was a brief video just so everyone can kind of see how the connection works, if it's working for everyone, see each other's faces, get to know each other a little bit better before continuing along. And then today we finished up our first leisure education healthy living, where our dietitian actually joined us and gave some healthy tips and tricks on grilling different types of foods, especially now that the weather's getting a little nicer. So just a lot of fun things with that. And we finished up with some trivia since it is Armed Forces Week. We did a nice little trivia for all the guys. Then next week will be Tai Chi, and then we'll have PT join in. And so today we did a little survey of what people wanted to learn from the PT perspective, and in general, what they might want to learn from other groups. So we'll have PT joining us next week, and we'll do some band exercises, movements, along with everyone that was on board really wanted to work on their core and their shoulders specifically. So we will incorporate that, and every week I'll give a little cue as to what'll happen the next week. And if anybody has any suggestions, we're working with those, and it's a group effort, that's for sure. So as you can see, it's going to continue to go just through basic group exercises and all of the points that we had talked about. And let me open up the next one. The other thing we've also shared with people on Facebook, I'll zoom in on this one too if I can, is, whoa, too far, back it up. So broke down a lot of online opportunities to be able to do different things in the community. So one, for example, is you can go to different art museums. So I broke it down into categories. You're able to go to art museums. You can create art. There's actually even a 7-day free trial for Broadway shows, which is kind of an exciting thing. So they're easy enough to share, and you can click onto the tours. And let's see, I got to share this screen over here. Can you guys all see this page now okay?
No.
You can't see? All right, this one.
Nope.
Yeah, I see it.
You can see it?
Yeah.
The website, is that what's popping up for people?
Yep.
Okay.
User travel.
Like I said, you can look further into this. I know I shared the links with the PVAs, so you can go to any of these museums. You have the British Museum. We have museums in New York, DC, Paris. So there's just a wide range of opportunities to be able to look at all these places that you can, without leaving your home. We even have.
These are on the web. These are on the website.
So I know I sent it to the PVA, Scott at the PVA,
Oh, okay.
and I also put it on our the Rec Therapy Facebook page.
Okay.
So I've shared these throughout the last couple, I'd say the last month or so. So there's a couple different ways we can access it, and I can also forward these again in case anyone wants more access, and I can send those
I can
later.
email it to Pete if he wants.
Yeah, we'll email it to Pete too, so that everyone
Okay.
can have access to all these resources. But yeah, so we move right into music. Education, one thing that's very cool that's happening right now is a lot of Ivy League schools are actually providing free classes. So we have a link here that can link you to all these different places and different class topics, which is very interesting. Another one is our TED Talks. I don't know if you guys have heard of this, but TED Talks, people will present on topics that they've been thoroughly researching, and it's a wide variety of topics. Very, like I said, very interesting. So we're actually going to be using some of these potentially in VVC as the book club, where we'll be able to discuss the topics during these TED Talks. And then we'll move down to online books. They're pretty easy to access now, like I said, since we can't really go to libraries too much. Things are slowly opening, but people have made this stuff very accessible for everyone who's stuck at home, which is awesome for people to be able to learn new things that you wouldn't have been at or had a chance to learn before. Next is Explore. So we have virtual hikes. We have a NASA tour. I'll click on, and then there's one of virtual dives I'll click on. I'll make sure you guys can see the screen as well. Let me drag it over. So with this one, you can actually do virtual dives in all these different places around the world. So we have like the Florida Keys, Flower Garden Banks, and all these, I definitely had some time to research and go through, and they're very cool to be able to access, and places I know I won't even get a chance to visit them at points in my lifetime. So to have this opportunity to be able to see this is very cool. And then moving down, we also have exercises. A lot of these I'll be using in the VVC program that we are offering, and this stretches from regular, just workout classes, to seated exercises, to Tai Chi, gentle chair yoga, free yoga programs, very broad, but yeah, it's once again very cool that we have the opportunity to be able to get a lot of this access for free from home. Next one, something that a lot of people really brush over because I feel like there's not too much stress when you're staying at home, but relaxation is still important just to kind of clear your mind. So there's a lot of helpful links, even something like 6 hours of soothing music just to play in the background to help people really unwind and take care of their mental health. Another fun one that I've found was the zoos and aquariums. They have these live feeds of all different types of animals from their zoos, along with just informational, I'll click on one, but a lot of informational things just on different types of animals and different resources. So let me pull this one over. And like I said, yeah, so you can see here there are live cameras where you can see different animals at different zoos. This one is the San Diego Zoo. So you can check out the penguin camera, the panda camera. It's, something that's just kind of informational knowledge to know. And I even finished up our online resource guide with some adaptive sports online education for some people who might want to get to know more about some of these opportunities. And then let me go to the next one. From an inpatient perspective, we have had to be creative with this as well, where not a lot of people can leave their rooms, or we have to be very creative with what we have. So one thing that we have is the hands-on board games. So I provided a short list for all the veterans that are currently on the unit. And this also included books, crossword puzzles, and if they want me to, try to look for anything in the big room that we have, I definitely have gone on a couple hunts for those things. But we even have mini putt, bocce, all things that we can clean and adapt and make work for the situation that we're all in. And I also included, obviously, Joyce and Aaron on all this. So in case the guys are in their rooms, they can call down to us and we can grab something for them. One last thing that I want to share with you guys is this return to play. I'll zoom in for you. With this, it's now that everything, like I said, is slowly opening up again, It's ways to go back into the sports and all these outdoor recreational activities and show your risk for potentially like infection or anything like that. So low risk would be indoor cycling, where high risk is a group ride. Something that's simple, but they have everything you can think on here. We got walking, hiking, and weightlifting, yoga. But yeah, so it's a nice open resource for everyone to be able to see. And yeah, that's everything I have on my shared screen, at least. Do you guys have any questions off the top of your head with all of that? All right.
That information was sent out, Annie, to the entire membership. Sue sent that out, so.
Awesome, sounds good. Yeah, no, I knew I had sent it a couple weeks ago, but I just wanted to make sure that everyone had access to all of this information. Let me find the rest of it. But yeah, so like I said, we started up our VVC this week. It's been going very well, and we've had the opportunity to be able to bring in, you know, like dietetics, PT, OT, and hopefully we'll be able to incorporate a couple other programs within this as well. But yeah, do you guys have any questions?
No, not yet.
No question. All right, sounds good.
The YouTube references are good. I'll get those added to our YouTube library that's hanging out there on our website. Are you guys open to partnering with any other activities who are doing online classes, wheelchair aerobics? I know Miss Wheelchair Wisconsin is doing some karate or judo Zoom classes, 10 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, yeah, no, we're always opening to adding more resources and even incorporating them for fun into our VVC program. A lot of the guys have been asking for certain things like more rigorous exercise versus, you know, maybe one day that's a little more relaxation based. So everything is up for, you know, moving it around. And yeah, no, it's going very well and everyone's very interested, and there's a lot of room for improvement and movement throughout it. So all right.
One other thing that's really very valuable in Annie's presentation is that, you know, return to practice and stuff, that resource is very good. It's been put out at a national level, but a lot of non-VA programs are utilizing it. Some of the links on there are really good too. My personal opinion is that the Olympic and Paralympic Committee, USOPC, I think, yeah. That link is good there. To me, they seem to have the best kind of handle on what's happening. The thing is, you know, because they have money, they can do a lot of the stuff they're saying they can do, like testing everybody and then testing again 24 hours. While smaller programs like organizations that will bankrupt, you know, on season one. But still, it gives a very good guidance on how such a big organization with a high profile is willing to go through in order to get the practices going and things.
Yeah, so we're, like I said, we're always open to adding some more links and stuff like that too, because like you said, a lot of places are going to be more reliable with information on all of this. And I did want to share one other thing on our virtual guide. Hold on, let me find it before I throw you guys in here. Where'd they go? Oh, it was this one right here. So let me share the screen again. All right. So it was this guy right here. Let me click it. It lets me. It's loading. Perfect. Ooh, gotta carry it over. So this program also, a lot of websites obviously are going to be better about breaking down and having a wider range of options for things. So this one, as you can see, they'll have specific types of yoga where a lot of these are you have to pay for because they're a little more high end of programs, but they even have included on here like Planet Fitness and yoga, actual yoga. It's not just YouTube videos. It's companies that will put these together for their clients. So I did want to show you guys this one because this is a better, probably one of the most inclusive resources. But yeah, do you guys have any other questions with the VVC or anything that we're doing here at the VA with our inpatients? Oh, let me unshare my screen. Boop. Nothing else. So I also want to share with you guys, it is Armed Forces Week. So what we did as an entire VA is we put together through recreation therapy a day-to-day program with every single day being a different theme of color or different of like what to wear. So it'd be Army Day one day, Marines Day another. And each day has had a different activity too. So that's a really good way we've been able to include all of our inpatient veterans. On Monday, we had a trivia, which we also incorporated into our VVC today. So on Monday, we went around and saw a lot of our patients, and we were able to do the trivia, and it was point-based. So we accumulated the points, and we sent it to the person that's running it and over in the main hospital. And we were able to track the points, and now it's kind of a competition between what we have spinal cord or long-term living or even the greenhouse. So it's kind of nice to be able to have this friendly competition going on. And then on Tuesday, we had,
Hey, baby.
let's see, what was Tuesday?
Minute to win it.
Tuesday we had Minute to Win It. So I don't know if you guys have heard of Minute to Win It, but it's a lot of tiny little games that you can play with any household object. So different things like cup stacking, throwing things into cups. So we got to do a lot of hand-eye coordination type of things on the unit. And once again, if people completed each task within 1 minute, you would get a point. So then we accumulated all the points and sent that in as well. Another thing that we were able to do is on Wednesday, the theme was bingo for Armed Forces Week. So what we did is we socially distanced, called off the letters and numbers for bingo, and we even incorporated people on bed rest by being able to give them access to hearing everything that was called down the hall. And it was a great way to be able to incorporate everyone on the floor, including some nurses and other staff members who really wanted to join, and it was a nice way to make everything a little more lighthearted. And then today was Name That Tune. So we accumulated a bunch of different songs that were military based and playing a short snip of the song, and without any words, we were able to have the veterans guess what the song is and then send out the points that way. So that's one thing that we've been doing from an inpatient perspective as well. Once again, it's a little difficult to do things as groups, but we are making things work and keeping everyone with that social connection. Does anyone have any questions on any of the Armed Force Week thing?
And Annie, I got a question for you. Not armed forces, but is there something that we can set up with this forum? Say, for argument's sake, next week, Wednesday or something. If Scott could set it up where we can do a Zoom, like some sort of a game or something that the veterans could do through Zoom. Say if there's 40 veterans that come in that they want to do this game, or let's say it's maximum of 30, something that you can set up that I can actually participate and have a winner and loser and things like that.
Okay, yeah, so would that include outpatient, inpatient, everybody?
I would say since you guys got a good, robust inpatient program going right now, how about concentrating on outpatient guys?
Okay.
Just
All
to
right,
do it,
We'll and then we'll try to send that out, try to figure something out for maybe next week, Wednesday, or yeah, we can try to figure out for something for next week, Wednesday, and be able to give everyone access. As long as they have Zoom, they'll be able to participate. And yeah, would you like that to be like a weekly thing or
well, let's try one. Let's try one first and then see what kind of interest is garnered. So, send everything to Scott so he can set that up.
Okay.
Earlier the better, but let's set a time right now to do it. And then by tomorrow, if you can give Scott at least some idea of, actually, let's set this. Let's do it Friday next week. But if you can send something like a little preliminary stuff to Scott, so he can let people know and get them interested. You know, it could be a team thing. It could be whatever you think is good to give it a try. Some sort of a game or even a physical competition. You know, let's see if the Pete could do some push-ups or pull-ups or something.
All right, yeah, no, I can definitely start, you know, getting the wheels turning.
How would you notify people of this?
Email them. We can send out an email. We'll also, yeah, we'll send a link of the Zoom meeting. We can probably figure it out that way. Scott can send out the same email.
I can do an attachment of what we got.
Yeah, hot dog eating contest comes to my mind.
Hot dog eating contest. All right, we'll put that on the list, right?
Make that chili dogs.
But out there. Yeah, no, because we could always do maybe like a social bingo, or even, I'm sure if you share the screen, we could do like maybe like a Jeopardy or some kind of, you know, like a game show.
Yeah.
A name that tune. Those are a hit usually when we.
Something very simple that you can put our rules out and, you know, just do. I think the vets will enjoy that.
You want karaoke?
Karaoke, you're the first up, Dr. Lee.
Karaoke?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You're starting.
Pick your song.
Yeah, that's some Asian thing, man. I don't do Asian stuff.
Start practicing.
How about lip sync battle?
Oh, that was good. I'd like to see that one.
Or masked singer or something like that.
Oh, that's.
Let's do line dancing.
I think. Oh, that's clever. Yeah, we'll start brainstorming. We'll plan it for next week Friday at some point.
If you want to do something like bingo, give us about a week lead time so we can actually print some bingo cards and get them mailed out.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and so if we, we'll start brainstorming.
This is totally different.
Oh, social bingo. Yeah, it's a whole different mentality. So watch out. Watch out.
Hold on to your
All
hair.
right.
But yeah, no, we'll start. We'll start brainstorming and trying to think something up, but we'll plan for next week Friday at some point and start to get the ball rolling with that. That way we can, you know, have something outside of a set program time session. But, yeah.
Are you going to continue the 2 other classes?
Oh yeah, we'll be continuing the
Tuesday.
for Tuesday. So right now we have
All the
it
way through the end of June right now.
correct. Yeah, it's through June, since I know we can't do too much. It keeps getting further and further out. So Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11. As long as, and then we can make sure that you have VVC access and be able to do it that way.
How do you get this access?
So we'll have to email someone right here in Spinal Cord and DeWong, and then we'll have to email her, see if you already have access. Otherwise, she'll contact you and try to get it going for you.
Just an email link. It's so easy.
Yeah, it's very easy to navigate. You just click the link, pop in, and everything is easy enough to get on from there. But
Did you see Dr. Patel's email earlier with the SO?
oh wait, what was that? Oh, this one.
Maybe we
Oh,
can have
maybe.
Juan come on and talk about BBC.
Oh yeah,
How to get connected.
yeah, we should do that. Yeah. Cool.
Yep.
So,
Just pop it in.
anyone that has expressed interest in VVC, we let the VVC coordinator know, and then she'll reach out to them and set up the link and your profile within VVC. And then every time you have an appointment, you'll get an appointment in your email, and you open that, and it will jump you into this very similar type situation. And there's a couple of groups, and there's about five in the group right now who hang out for 1 hour and exercise or do leisure. So Duong will send you an email or get in touch with you to set it up. And then from there, you should be able to jump onto the VVC groups if you wanted to. So flexible.
Did you guys catch all that?
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. So I'm gonna make sure nothing was muted. Yeah, do you guys have any other questions or suggestions on what to do? Because obviously, like I said, we're open for any suggestions when it comes to our VVC program, especially, or even anything inpatient. It's a totally new thing for everyone, so we're really trying to get the ball rolling and brainstorm on new ideas or activities or people who even would be able to guest speak. Does anyone have any suggestions on anything you would even find interesting on any topics?
Hot topic.
Hot topics.
Hot topics, not COVID.
So just so you guys have situational awareness, and I believe you do, 'cause I think I saw you post something about PVA National doing like air rifle 101 and some classes like that.
Yeah.
So we need to keep that crosstalk going so we can get these calendars just full of 2 to 3 things to do every day and let the vets, cherry pick and pick what they want to do.
No, exactly. Yeah, like there's a lot of options out there too, so to be able to communicate back and forth, because there might be, who knows, a link here or there that one of us missed. So yeah, continue communication, and if you guys have any links or suggestions too, to forward them to either me or Joyce or Aaron, and we'd be able to.
Annie's last day is next Friday.
Yeah, so I finish up next week. So after next week, I can still forward it to them, but but
we'll
yeah.
have a new intern June 1st.
So yeah,
And
hopefully.
Chelsea comes back too in June, so we should have a full deck.
Yeah. Yeah, and also the hope is then that the next intern will be able to keep the ball rolling and maybe come up with some new ideas and stuff for the VVC now that it has already been established. So.
Kind of toddler.
So some of the crazy ideas that we've been spitballing around to try to get people engaged in doing things is fielding some at-home Lego Pinewood Derby cars.
Oh.
And just send the kit to the veteran at their home and let them build it and put the little decals on for their service component. And then when all of this social distancing has lightened and we can come together, then we can have one big Pinewood Derby race and contest and let them race them down the tracks and have some pizza.
Oh, the pizza. There you go.
I have to mute myself. So let him know. Hey, Scott.
Hold on. Oh, she's coming over.
So we have planned, if this keeps going, to do fly tying and wood carving and even like a craft kit group online. Just depends how things go here. If we have to stay, at this status like into July, we have a lot of good ideas.
Good.
And I know Team River Runner has some stuff, as well as Adaptive Adventures that we can get out there. But our main hiccup, though, is getting the guys comfortable with the technology end of it. So
Understand.
yeah.
That's has a lot to do with the participation of these Zoom calls. We expect everyone to get on their smartphone. We have a very large population that still use flip phones, and they just can't do it with flip phones.
Exactly.
But we're even thinking of air rifle and how to get equipment into individuals' hands to allow them to do more stuff at home. It may not be a high-end air rifle, but maybe one of the lower-end ones, just to get something in their hands, something to do.
Exactly. Yeah. And to just like with how to make people more comfortable with the VVC and Zoom and all that, what we did on our end with the VVC group is we did the assessments, like I said, the one that I gave you guys all in the beginning. But what we did is we made it a one-on-one Zoom type session, but with the VA VVC service. And we were able to then, help each other kind of feel comfortable, because it's new to everyone too. Even including myself, my friends and I didn't do this before this. So yeah, what it was is to become comfortable with exactly what the VVC was, and giving a brief assessment, helping navigate all the different buttons and tools on this, and then also just kind of feeling more comfortable logging in. And it's also a weird way to socialize. There's a slight delay for everyone, and it's a learning curve. So that was one way that we were able to help people become more comfortable to join our VVC calls and our groups, and it's been working out very well. We've had people, it's been almost a full turnout every single time for our groups. So that I think might have helped as well with what we were doing on our end.
So what are the constraints with VBC that you're seeing in the membership? Is it having the equipment at home? I mean, is it having a computer, a PC, a laptop? If it is, then what's the lowest level of technology that will facilitate the VBC? Like a Chromebook for $200. Will that do it?
Yeah.
but a lot of them don't understand Wi-Fi. They might not have Wi-Fi at home.
That was my next question is it just that Wi-Fi or bandwidth or high-speed internet at their home. Some of them live in Podunk, Wisconsin.
Exactly. That was another problem that we ran into because I gave a lot of guys a phone call before even starting up to see if it'd be
Survey.
oh yeah, like a little survey, like if it'd be a worthwhile thing to do with people who had access or already were connected with VVC. Because like I said, it's through the VA that you have to become a part of that. So to be able to get them connected with that, if they had a device, if they had interest in what we were doing. So I did a survey over the phone with a lot of people, and it looked like it was it would work in 2 seconds, but then a lot of people were like, oh shoot, that's right, my Wi-Fi is not great, or oh, I don't know if my phone will be able to support this. So what we did is we connected the almost every single person that was even interested with the person who runs the VVC here, and then she was able to talk to them and work through with them if they were able to get, let's say, if they needed a better Wi-Fi or maybe a tablet or a Chromebook or something. But it does work on any device as long as the connection's okay-ish. But yeah, so especially because a lot of it would be me talking with the participants and then the feedback. It really depends on the situation. But we did the survey to hopefully, get people interested in just to get a brief assessment on what we could and couldn't do. Yeah, do you guys have any questions on how people become connected with the VVC program? Any questions?
You said you were going to send information to each person by Cherry?
We can give, if you're not in VVC, we can tell Duong to reach out to you.
I was going to ask Dr. Lee if you could ask Duong what she's comfortable in putting out there. If she'll do a short blurb and email to me that I can put out there on the website and the social media, and then kind of a push-pull thing for information.
About the VVC?
Correct. And how she wants to be contacted.
Okay.
Because she can they hear me?
You can hear Joyce, right?
Yes.
She can only sign up spinal cord guys. So, any of the guys that were involved with our programming and like the PVA, they have to go through like their gold clinic, their blue clinic, their green clinic, whatever, to get signed up. I mean, her priority is SCI. So, but she has helped us with some of those guys getting connected.
Yeah.
So it's just a little bit different when they're not SCI guys.
Mm-hmm. There's a couple more hurdles to jump on that then to get everyone connected with it. Dr. Lee, do you have any suggestions on how we'd be able to get any veterans who aren't a part of spinal cord potentially access without jumping through all these hoops?
Access the PVA
VVC, yeah. The VVC program that Duong's the one who sets it all up. Because a lot of our guys are, not necessarily spinal cords, so.
Yeah, so each one of them have their own VVC coordinators and set up, but that's how they do it. So it's not for us to jump in and do, and we're crossing some lines and there may be a duplication of reporting.
Yeah.
So, but every department or every section has their own VVC coordinators.
Okay, sounds good. I was just curious if there was a better way to go about it.
Not that I know of, but I'll ask around on my meetings.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, because that was probably up there with, the Wi-Fi connection. That was one of the other biggest barriers that we've run into is a lot of people who are active in our programs we can't just forward them over to Duong. So,
Well, we can.
I mean, we do, but we do.
Yeah.
But
So if are you collecting that data for individuals who are SCI, who are PVA members, who have connectivity issues, so that we can try to implement some sort of fix?
So yeah, we had a master list from what we sent to Duong. We don't know from there what the issues would have been with each person.
Okay, hold on, guys. I gotta go, but next week is gonna be me giving you guys all updates on phased opening. Okay, guys?
Got it.
Thank you, Dr. Lee.
Thanks, Doc.
But yeah, so as of now, yeah, anyone that we sent over to her to be able to get admitted to the VVC program, it was kind of from there. She gave us a final list of people who were able to become connected with it. And then from there, the guys that couldn't become connected, we didn't know if it was necessarily Wi-Fi or Wi-Fi, or they didn't have the tablets or anything like that. So we tried to narrow it down as much as possible for her from the beginning with the survey that we did. But from there, we really didn't have much control over getting them further access. So
yeah, I'll reach out to her. I know there's some HIPAA laws and all that stuff involved, but you know, if she runs into a constraint where specifically a PVA member is having a hard time because of a Wi-Fi issue in the home, then we need to know about that so we can help out the best we can.
Perfect. Yeah, I can reach out to her too and see if she still has that list that she originally came up with, but we can try to figure it out from there. It's going to be a little kind of digging back in the piles from when all this kind of all started up, but hopefully we can figure that all out.
And I think too, because of how rural a lot of the PVA members may be, their choice in where they live really impacts their connectivity, or the lack of a cell tower can really kind of hinder their ability to get connected. So it's a lot of those rural guys that we wish we could connect with that normally we see on a day-to-day basis, but because of the location of their home and cell tower.
Yeah, but if that's the case, then we may be able to coordinate with one of our sister organizations, disability advocates in the area, that would allow them to come in and use their technology to connect for a 1-hour Zoom session.
Exactly.
So,
yeah. Trying to figure out how to get over any of those kind of barriers that we can think of. But yeah, I know with a lot of those rural places, it's difficult to even, Wi-Fi is not going to help or anything like that. It's just anything that's in the area that they could access that's not closed to any location. So that's the other big thing, the big barrier. But as everything slowly opens up, maybe we'll be able to work through some of those issues. But, all right, did you guys have any other questions on how the VVC worked or tuning into it? Anything?
What do you guys gonna do for fun this week? What recreation are you gonna do? I don't know.
So everything that I shared with you guys, is there anything that jumped out at you guys that you might want to try out or might try out in the near future or check out at least?
One thing you're all gonna try. I like the NASA thing, but
Yeah, right.
What are you gonna do, Scott? You gotta pick one thing off our list. Give it a whirl. Report back.
is that Erin talking from the distance?
Yeah, she's bouncing in.
No, I don't know who that is.
It's just it's my thoughts up here.
I've selected landscaping 101.
There you go.
And I need supervision, Erin, so feel free to drive on out. And I live right next door to Chelsea's parents, so you can bring your own equipment and come right over.
Oh no, my car doesn't travel past New Berlin.
Our social distance.
My car social distance is myself. It does. No, ma'am. Sorry.
What about you, Pete? What are you going to try out?
Pete, you're on mute.
Pete, you're still on mute.
Unmute yourself.
Boy, you missed a really good one, though.
Oh.
I'm going to do the same thing as Scott, get my yard squared away.
There you go.
Lawn care 101.
Yeah, as long as the weather holds out, right?
Yeah, well, I got 3 boys. It's like, you do this, you do that, and I'll sit there and drink my coffee.
So you can point and tell them to do different tasks. That's how it
Direction, yeah. I was always good at that.
Right? Yeah, no, because it looked like the weather's supposed to be super nice this weekend, and now it looks like it might be rainy. So let's cross our fingers that we can all still get our yard work done.
It's okay. Kids work in the rain.
Not going to melt, right?
That's right.
Ken, what are you going to try out? Anything that jumped out at you or that you might just do this weekend for fun?
Well, I've got I'm not exactly sure. I'm gonna get out and do a little pushing around, I think.
There you go.
I gotta get some fresh air and just get some sunshine.
Take advantage of anything going on in
Yeah, we've got some nice areas downtown near the lake where I can, push around and bug some people.
There you go. See, that's half the fun of it, right? Just bug
Sure.
a couple people along the way.
Be annoying and let them yell at me.
Remember your social distancing.
What an
Yeah,
old
sure,
man
yeah,
like
sure,
you
ma'am.
doing out like this, and come get away from me. I'm shorter than you. Stuff like that.
Awesome. Well, do you guys have any questions overall from anything that I've shared, or just any questions at all for Joyce? Anything to bug her?
Well, that's a very nice package you put together, Annie, and I hope we can take advantage of some of it.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm hoping that even if 1 or 2 people use something on it, that means it wasn't done for nothing.
Some of those virtual travels those look like they're kind of fun.
Yeah, those are all very interesting. I mean, it's something that I never thought of, having to do at any point. But yeah, that's really cool to have access to things that you wouldn't normally be able to see, and now that you pretty restricted to seeing. So
Do they provide you with a snorkel on the underground stuff?
yeah, you have to actually wear one the whole time, and goggles too.
Yeah, underground you'll need a shovel though.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't want to work that hard.
Awesome. Any other questions that you guys have? Comments, concerns, jokes, riddles? All set. Awesome. Well, yeah, thank you guys for letting me
Well,
do my
thanks.
little spiel. I appreciate it.
Well done, Annie.
Thank you for
Thank you.
thank you for putting that information together.
Yes,
sharing
of
with
course.
us.
Hey, Andy, you
Yes.
have to stop the recording. I can't do it. Or I have to take over. I have to take over host responsibilities or something.
Perfect. All right, I'll press stop right now.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
It'll go to the cloud and then I'll